Hello, I'm here today to do my October TBR, and this also is going to be combined into being my Spooktober TBR that Vanessa from Paper Fairy is hosting, as well as some other people. So I followed what the challenges were supposed to be, and that's how I decided what my TBR was going to be this month. I have lots of creepy and scary things, never mind that this is literally what it feels like outside. Yep, 98 degrees is what it feels like it is outside. The first read-a-thon challenge is to read the group book, The Haunting of Hill House. This is by Shirley Jackson. I have heard of this book before, and I don't know if I'm as interested in it, but if I finish all of these other ones and I still have time and I would want to read it, then I will pick it up. The second challenge is to read a book that features your favorite, creepy creature. I decided to go with Hex Hall. In this book, we have witches, we have fairies, we have warlocks, we have vampires, we have ghosts, so pretty much they're all represented. The main character, Sophie, and a lot of other creatures are sent to this reform school, so I believe it's kind of like a boarding school. And the plot of this book is supposed to follow a mystery of who is attacking the students at this school. There's also like a secret society in the background that may be involved in all of these attacks. So it's kind of like a whodunit, and the main character is trying to figure out exactly who is executing these attacks. I hope that it's lighthearted in a way, and I hope that it kind of pokes holes at tropes or stereotypes of characters like this, so we'll see how that ends up going. The third challenge is to read a book with fall colors. I didn't know if I should go creepy with this or try to put in something that's not so creepy to lighten the mood, so I picked two things, one that's more creepy and scary and one that is going to be, I think, less creepy and has nothing to really do with gore or blood or horror. Sweet Tooth. I don't know if this is scary, but this is a post-apocalyptic graphic novel series that follows children versus animal-human hybrids, and supposedly it has themes of the fate of humankind, the values of innocence, and the unexpected friendships that can emerge when you're dealing with all of this. And I've seen from Marinessa's channel, from My Name is Marinessa, she really enjoys this series, so I'm excited to pick this one up. To offset the scary, I also picked up American Born Chinese. I was recommended it by someone on Twitter, and I've seen it around as well, but during Diverse-a-thon I was saying, oh, I love reading diverse graphic novels, and they were like, you need to read this, so I picked it up. Luen has recently been awarded the Genius MacArthur Grant, so I think that's pretty cool, and it follows a Chinese American child, and I'm excited to get to this one. So there we get some red and we get some yellow fall colors. Challenge number 4 is to read a book from an iconic horror author, and for this one I picked Neil Gaiman. I have never read anything by Neil Gaiman, and that's something that I think I really need to fix. I picked Coraline, which I don't have with me right now because it's actually at the other library branch that I haven't gone to. But basically Coraline is trying to save all the people she loves as well as herself from this kind of dark world that's overtaking. It's supposed to be really creepy and spooky for children, so hopefully that means it's not as creepy or spooky for a 23-year-old person. Challenge number 5 is to read a scary book and then watch that book's adaptation. I picked In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. I love reading true crime stories and listening to true crime podcasts. I've never read the pioneer in the genre, the most important book that really led to the growth of the genre, so I really want to read this. There's a couple movies that are out about this, like an actual movie that follows the case that he follows, but there's also movies out, I believe with Philip Seymour Hoffman, that follows Truman Capote's fascination with this case, so I think I might watch the latter, but I'm not really sure I have options. Challenge number 6 is to read a scary graphic novel. I ended up picking Uzumaki by Junji Ito. This follows a town in Japan where spirals kind of start taking over everything, and it starts a madness. So people start getting spirals on their skin, spirals in the hair, kind of just random spirals taking over. That doesn't sound that creepy. I went through some of the art and it definitely looks really creepy, and I got this from a recommendation from online. I was looking up scary graphic novels and this continually came up as the scariest of them all, so I'm going to scare my socks off by reading Uzumaki. And finally, challenge number 7 is to read a book with a spooky setting. I'm kind of between two. I don't really know how I want to go about this. So the first one that I picked is The Night Circus, which I'm sure you've heard about. I don't know if it's necessarily a spooky setting, but to me, circuses that come up from out of nowhere and they happen at night are kind of scary. That sounds kind of creepy to me. And just what I see when I look at this book, it exudes this kind of creepy vibe. If I stare too long at the inside outside cover, I start to get dizzy. So the other one that I picked, I found while I was just looking around the library, and I was just so captured by the physical book and what it looks like that I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick that up. And it does sound pretty creepy and has a creepy setting. So that is The Strange Library by Haruki Murakami. I have never read anything by Murakami, and I know how well known he is. I think it's time for me to try some Murakami, right? First I'll tell you what it's about, and then I'll explain why it looks so cool to me. It's about these people who get stuck in a library, and it's like a nightmare of a library. I believe it's like in a basement too, and they're just trying to plot their escape. I have heard the adjectives creepy, bizarre, unusual used to describe this, so I don't really know what I'm getting myself into, but to me, libraries are usually really nice places, so a creepy library sounded like a spooky setting to me. And yes, the physical book is so awesome. Like, first of all, what is this? Like, okay, that's cool. And then it just like starts the book out there. That's the book. Like, isn't that weird? And the text is ginormous, so this isn't a novella, it's not like a full thing, so if I'm looking for something quicker, this is definitely something I could pick up. I just thought that that was so interesting, the way that they put this together. So hopefully I don't break it. That's pretty much it for my October TBR. They're all not very long. I think the longest is Night Circus. Alright, here we are. I hope you have a fantastic reading month, and if you have any creepy recommendations, or if you read any of these and can attest that they are very strange, let me know, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye bye.